I'm Professor Hale. In this video, I'm going to help you build a better resume or CV, or better yet, both. That will make you stand out in the job market and help you to land that internship or assistantship or job or get into grad school. I'm going to give you 10 practical tips that you can use immediately to build a better resume or a CV from scratch or to improve your existing job documents. Okay, let's start with the differences between a CV and a resume. A CV, or a curriculum vitae, is a much longer and much more comprehensive document than a resume. It chronicles your entire career, essentially, and it's mostly used in academic context. If you're a grad student or thinking of going to grad school or going into academia, you should make a CV immediately if you don't already have one. While a CV might be 4 or 10 or more pages in length, a resume is generally speaking going to be 1 or 2 at max pages. A resume is essentially a highlight reel of your relevant work experiences, education or training, achievements, and competencies. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to those tips. Number 1, there is no one-size-fits-all model. No matter what anyone tells you, including me, there isn't just one right way to format a resume or a CV. You're gonna have to sift through a bunch of conflicting advice that you get from advisors or peers or that you find online, and then it's your job to make some strategic decisions. Number 2, you need to think about your job documents and yourself, honestly, as a story. During the application process, your goal is to create and deliver an appropriately targeted story about who you are, your experiences, your skills, and career trajectory. This story needs to be legible, tailored to specific audiences, competent, and streamlined. Number 3, do not send the same generic CV or resume to every single application that you apply to. This is also extremely important for cover letters, but I'll save that for another video. Number 4, to facilitate this whole tailoring process, you need to create and maintain a kind of mother or starter set of job documents. These should be organized and comprehensive, and an ongoing list of all your professional accomplishments and competencies. Update it constantly to reflect every single achievement that you've unlocked, so to speak, in your life. When you get ready to apply for a job, you should create a duplicate of that file or copy and paste the text from the starter into a new document, then tailor that specific resume or CV for the particular career opportunity to which you are applying. Again, think of the application process as a highly regimented and ritualized storytelling process. You're telling a story about yourself, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going in your career. To do that well, you need to include only those things from the mother document in your specific application materials that are relevant to the position that you're applying to and that help to tell the story that you're trying to tell. So, pull from that mother document, cut and streamline, reframe where necessary, and tailor your documents to fit your audience, just like you would adapt a story to meet the interests and expectations of an audience. Number 5. Think about the text on your resume and CVs aesthetically and not just in terms of semantics. What I mean is, you need to format your document in such a way that is visually appealing, organized, easy to consume and understand. You need to be strategic in what headings you use, where to use bold fonts to draw your reader's attention to specific information. Think about how you use space. HR or a hiring committee looks through dozens or even hundreds of documents, and that means that an evaluator might only glance at your application materials for a few seconds. You need that person to pause, to take in and process the information that you've provided, and to consider your application. So, think long and hard about how you structure your job documents. Don't just follow a template or do what someone on the internet says. Think about it strategically. What story are you trying to tell about yourself, and figure out what organizing principles and structures will help you to accomplish that. Number 6, be consistent and use the same font and formatting practices throughout the document. This may seem unimportant at first blush, but that's not the case. Consistency demonstrates professionalism and competence, and inconsistency distracts from your story. Likewise, number 7, your documents need to be free of any typos or errors. They need to be unimpeachable, no typos. Number 8, show, don't tell. Don't think in terms of duties and tasks that you were assigned in your previous work experience or training. Instead, you need to employ a more active rhetoric. Think in terms of accomplishments, skill sets, and achievements. What did you accomplish at your workplace, in your education? What projects did you lead or contribute to? You don't want to just list tasks like data entry, video editing, PowerPoint, sales. That's not a story, that's a list. This is especially important in resumes, but it also does apply to CVs. Number 9, the hiring process is different from what it was 10 or 20 years ago. Jobs and opportunities are typically going to be posted online, and that means that a position will likely receive a lot of applicants, and they will be submitted using an online portal, something that's called an applicant tracking system, or ATS for short. These systems organize and sort applicant information, and part of that process is rejecting applicants that haven't fully or correctly completed the application process, or maybe they didn't have the correct keywords or check all the boxes for a position. What I'm getting at here is this. If an application portal asks you to upload your resume or CV and then fill out a series of annoying boxes with all the information that's provided in the resume that you just uploaded, just do it. I know it's annoying, but just do it. Finally, number 10, you are going to apply to a lot of opportunities, or at least you should. You'll also accordingly receive a lot of rejection. Keep records of everything, all of your job documents, all of your rejections. Keep everything and study them. Think of these documents and experiences as data for improving your job documents, your interviewing skills, and so on. This is a design process. You'll get better over time and through iteration, modulation, and small improvements. All right, please subscribe to the channel for more helpful academic and career advice and video essays. If enough folks are interested, I'll make a video or two just on academic CVs and another 1 or 2 on resumes. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know in the comment section down below, or feel free to ask questions down there. If you're a student of mine, this is an open invitation to send me your resume or CV or any sort of job document anytime. I'm happy to look over it. Other folks, please subscribe to follow along and get more content like this. Thanks. Bye.